Our story is out there.
Hello and welcome to another pretty good gaming video. My name is Gareth Evans. I am joined by Mr. Henry Cooper. How are you doing, sir?
I'm pretty good.
Pretty good. We are talking today about Anthem, the upcoming EA Bioware game, which is releasing on the 22nd of February. It's imminent, but there was a demo not so long ago over the weekend, and also a demo over the previous weekend for pre-orderers, but you got to play it with the general public on the weekend, and you have some actual impressions, some solid impressions for us, right? Let's start off with, in general, did you have fun?
I did have fun.
You had fun. Well, that's it. Let's end the video.
Yep.
Game over.
But that doesn't constitute a game being good.
So this is different, right? So you had some fun with it, but you had issues with it, right?
Right.
So let's talk us through this. So what did you play? What did you enjoy? What didn't you enjoy? Let's start from the start.
Okay. Well, I played it on PS4, regular vanilla PS4. Not for as long as I'd like, because I had other things to do. But I played it for about 2 hours.
Busy man.
I know. I've got a life. I'm a popular guy, evidently.
To do, man.
That's totally a lie. I just had other shit. So I played it for about 2 hours or so, maybe 2.5. I would have liked to have played a bit more, but I did have fun. I want to get that out there.
Yeah.
Straight away.
Well, anything's fun for 2 hours, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
it didn't get that repetitive because I was only playing it for 2 hours.
Sea of Thieves was good for 2 hours.
Yeah, right.
No Man's Sky on launch was good for 2 hours.
Oh, this is great. Oh, wait, that's it?
I don't want to say it, but I enjoyed Fallout 76 for a couple of hours.
Yeah, right.
I mean, people are making comparisons between this and Fallout 76 because of the issues pre-launch.
Yep.
So, but we'll get into a few more of those in a short while.
The issues are like multiple. Regardless of how fun the actual game is, as a demo, I thought it was appalling.
Appalling demo. So
just for how buggy it was, how inconsistent it was, and I always say I'm not really that fussed about performance so long as it runs fine. It runs cleanly. It can run at 30 and that's tolerable. If it runs at 60, golden, magic number. But so long as it's stable, I can deal with it. I can live with it.
So some of the issues going in from the previous weekend were infinite loading screens, disconnections, and players blocking because of account flags or entitlements or whatever. Did you experience any of that at all? Had they fixed any of those, or what was
frame drops? I had quite a few of. Some weren't even in high activity areas. It's not like there was a big fight. It's just something wasn't quite keeping up, and it's because it's the live service thing. There's other players in the world, so there's connection issues and all that sort of stuff. Didn't really have any trouble logging in. Once I got to the menu, it was fine. But then I had what I thought was an infinite loading screen. It wasn't. It was just bloody long.
A bloody long loading screen. Well, that's a different issue, right?
No, there's plenty of loading screens. Let me tell you that. So you're in the hub world.
Fort Tarsus.
Yeah, Fort Tarsus, which is that's the first person you're running around just as yourself.
Yeah, exactly. The story. There's no multiplayer aspect to that. It's
that's just
single player experience.
Yeah. In the first person in this hub world, and then you get in your robo suit called a javelin, and you fly off and fight monsters
with your friends, which is the multiplayer part.
Yes, exactly. But between all of that, there's a loading screen. So menu, load screen, Fort Tarsus. All right, cool. Go talk to some idiot for 5 minutes, which is a conversation I don't care about. Go to your javelin, load screen. Go fight things, load screen.
Yeah.
Fight things, load screen, come back, load. It's just constant load screens.
So this was a criticism not only of the demo, but this is of the game itself. If there are so many load screens to take you out of that immersion, it's not a great experience. This is something that games have been trying to do more and more recently, which is just completely kill the load screens because
you want the connected world thing, which some games do really well, or they hide them. God of War is a perfect example of they're there because he's looking at this door for a bit too long.
It's just inspecting the frame of the door.
Craftsmanship in the door. But yes, because they hide them. But in this, there's just, we're all familiar with the load screen. It's a picture with maybe a bit of text or a hint or something, and then it eventually goes away. So that was a real bummer.
Yeah. So frame rate drops and loading screens. Anything else?
Constantly had vanishing enemies while shooting them. I was taking out some weird wildlife things. It's not like they were fighting back. They were just animals, and then they'd come running at me, and I'll shoot them, and then poof, they're gone. They just
Right, they
pop out.
disappear. Just
And there was another guy next to me, and he was just like looking around for ages. We were both like, well, what the hell's happening?
Where's that gone?
And that happened repeatedly within, I don't know, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, okay, fine, we'll fly off and go do something else. Oh, there's something to kill there. Poof, it's gone.
Yeah.
Great. So that was really frustrating. But the core gameplay, it is fun, but it's definitely flawed. One thing that I absolutely agree with that lots of people are saying from the last demo and this one is that just flying around is fun.
Fun to fly.
Yeah, and it's quite like effortless. You just jump, hit the sprint button when you're in midair, and it like turns on your thrusters and you shoot.
So this implies the controls are good. Would you
Yeah,
agree?
yeah. The in-flight controls pretty, they're
Solid.
decent. They're quite easy to do. You can adjust your speed and all that.
Mm-hmm. Does it feel natural? If you want to go a certain direction, you don't feel there's any... It's quite easy to get there, right?
Yeah. And I don't think it's, like, laboured by your surroundings or anything. I don't think there is an upper limit to how high you can go, but it's quite high up, and there's nothing to do when you get there anyway, so there's no reason to ever go that high.
Yeah.
So you do have quite a lot of freedom to fly around. However, the flying around is kind of just there. So the comparison I'm trying to think of it like is with Spider-Man, right? So getting around the world in Spider-Man is key to the experience, and that's part of what makes it so fun, because without good web swinging in Spider-Man, it's essentially nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it's got a story or whatever, but it's not a Spider-Man game, right? Mm-hmm. It's a means from A to B, but it's also there as like front and center. In this, it is fun, but it is just a means to get from A to B. It's just a journey time or a vehicle.
Yeah.
And that is fun, but it doesn't seem entirely like integral. Or maybe that's just me looking for a bit more depth.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't know, it's just an observation that they could have been more with this. Like flying through an interesting environment or something. Like the underwater stuff I thought would be really cool, but I only did it like once, and there's nothing to do there. You can't fight underwater, and you can't fight while in full flight. You can fight while hovering, but even that's a bit finicky to do, because from when I was trying to do it, you can't go straight into a hover from, well, at least that I'm aware of. You've got to be full scale flying, then stop to shoot. You can't go from the ground to air to shoot really effortlessly. You've got to ground full scale flying, then hover.
Right.
It's a bit...
Sounds a bit janky, that.
Yeah, so I kind of wish it was just let me double jump, then aim in the air, and I'll just start hovering.
Yeah, get you. So how were the weapons, the enemies, the combat?
The combat was fine. It's not terrible, but there's a lot of work, mainly because the weapons don't feel like anything.
Right, they feel lightweight, they don't feel like...
Yeah, there's no...
Bullet spongy aim.
Yeah, very spongy, and it because it's got the RPG thing where numbers come up. That's the only feedback you get from shooting an enemy. They're not responsive at all, especially with games recently like Red Dead Redemption or even Resident Evil 2. They have very responsive enemies, because when you shoot them, their body shifts and there's physics to it, and Resident Evil bits come off them and stuff, and that's brilliant. But in this, they will just stand there and get shot.
And just absorb, like literal sponges.
Yeah, literally. And if you've got, I don't know, an assault rifle, you're shooting little 30s keep coming up. But then if you shoot them with a heavy machine gun, little 60s might come up, but their body's behaving the same.
Yeah, I get it.
Or if you hit them with a really powerful pistol, a little 80 might come up. But again, they're not doing anything different.
Okay, so talk to me about a variety of enemies. How many were there? Are they the smaller ones, easy to kill? How many do you get? Big, huge monsters kind of enemies?
Well, generally there were like wildlife type enemies, like kind of just wandering around, and if you go near them, they're going to try and kill you. They're quite easy, but there was a reasonable variety, I suppose. There was some big, like, bug things with a big like shell on their front, and to do more damage you go around the back. Generally the enemies were either regular humans or humanoid type things, or something with like another suit on, like your javelin but different, or big contraptions attached to them.
So what type of weapons were you using? Like big cannons or anything? Did you and also I'm interested in the loot. What type of loot you get from the enemies?
So I was expecting to get like armor pieces and visual stuff as well as weapons, but it was pretty much all weapons.
Yeah.
Well, like some like perk sort of things. So as well as your basic weapons are like assault rifles, heavy machine guns, shotguns, and pistols with varying changes. Like some are fully automatic, some are semi-automatic, that kind of thing. And then you get your secondary weapons, which is like, you've got a launcher on your wrist, which you can change what it fires. You can fire a rocket, it can fire like poison darts, or you can change a grenade type. It can be explosion, it can be elemental with like ice or fire or whatever. Sometimes got those sort of things, but mainly it was just guns, and I didn't ever need any of them, and I just scrapped them to get one of the thousands of currencies to craft things.
So you just burn them down into currency?
Into parts, yeah. Which is a bit annoying, and I was really hoping to get some cosmetic stuff, because that is probably the strongest part of the game. Is straight out of the gate, it doesn't really tell you how to do it unless when you get in your javelin like lobby, essentially. So you go up to javelin, there's a little animation of the guy getting in it, and it says, all right, pick your objective, pick your difficulty, and then like go. And then in the corner there's go to the forge, and that's where you set up your loadout, you equip your weapons, and then you can make your guy look cool. Because you all start off in one particular javelin, which is called the Ranger, and that's like your bog standard one. But once I did go in there, I was like, oh, this is great, because I can just change colors really like straight away. I can make it look like I want, and then immediately, as soon as I did that, dropped into a game, and I saw the ugliest fucking javelin ever. After I'd spent, I don't know, about 10 whole minutes designing him to look like Iron Man with, the red and the gold. I was like, yeah, he looks pretty sweet. Drop in, there's some guy with like pink and green, and it made me sick.
Well, we can't all be style icons like yourself.
True.
Talk to me about the story. You didn't like it, right?
It pretty much wasn't there.
No story. So the main of this crux of the story happens inside Fort Tarsus, where you're interacting with the characters and you're getting all the exposition, and you want a reason to fucking exist in a game, right? So where did it go wrong? What was the problem?
There was a bit. We flew out, we did a thing, and collected something, though we didn't really. We just did it, and it said we had it. Flew back, walked up to the guy to talk. He then had the thing. There was no actual exchange. He just had it, and then some shockwave goes off, and he starts like duplicating or something. And I'm like, I'm not like compelled by any of this. I don't really know why this is happening. I don't know who you are, and that might be because it is a demo and it's a slice part way through, and that might be set up much more cohesively and cleanly in the actual game. But I didn't feel motivated at all. These were just things happening.
Was there much interaction with the characters? Because this is a BioWare game, right? And we know them from the Mass Effect series, where you have multiple choice in terms of dialogue. I heard in this game has two choices.
Yeah, there's a handful of binary choices that, from what I gather, they don't really mean anything other than kind of an opportunity for you to give a flavour of what your experience. Well, it's not going to completely change anything. It's not really going to alter it much. But you can say, I'll say the nice answer, or like the cocky, cool answer, or whatever, and they'll respond either way. And there's not really any depth to it. But I don't mind that it's there.
I mean, we're basing this on just a couple of hours of gameplay. So, I mean, this is mainly the demo impressions rather than the final game impressions, because we don't know how it's going to pan out. But as an overall, you weren't too impressed. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, with the demo, I was disappointed, because I just thought, well, what is this? Especially given that it comes out in, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And if they're running this demo, that either says to me they've sent out a crap demo, or the game itself isn't finished.
Yeah.
So they need to figure out that.
It raises question marks, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Having seen what happened with Fallout 76 more recently, I mean, the fact that they called it a demo and not a beta test, which is the problem with Fallout 76. It's not a demo. It's not even a beta test at this point. It's just you get to play it early You know,
Yeah.
this is a marketing ploy essentially. This is an opportunity for people to talk and play the game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just to sum up your overall feeling, like, are you interested in getting the full game? Would you get it? Or, you know, what are the talk to me about that?
Full price, definitely not. Mainly because it's not the kind of thing I would spend a lot of time in, and it is very much Destiny. It is very Destiny in the go here, kill things, get stuff, repeat.
Loot shooter.
Yeah. So that doesn't give me much positive feedback personally.
Sure.
But if you like Destiny, you're probably going to find something you like in here. And I definitely think it's going to be fun with friends, where you can team up with your buddies. Like, oh, there's a thing, like a public event going on Thursday night. Let's all go on and do it. I imagine that would be great fun if you've got like a solid crew. But I definitely wouldn't buy it for full price straight out of the gate. But if it came out for free on PSN in a couple months, I'd absolutely download it and play it.
Yeah.
If it came out on sale, and I, you know, post launch reviews were pretty good, and there was still a community around with, you know, actually can get in a game, I'd probably consider it. But the problem with these live service games is that once this live service has kind of ended and they've stopped supporting it, the game's dead in the water. You can't do anything.
Yeah, that's further down the line. So there you have it. Those are Henry's impressions of the demo and what he thinks and what went right and everything that went wrong, pretty much. So have you any thoughts? Let us know down in the comments below. Are you interested in this? Were you picking it up? Did you play the demo? Were you impressed? Were you not impressed? Let us know all that or anything else down in the comments below. That's it for today. We will see you again in the next video. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.